remember? Like a 2-to-1 slope. 2 out and 1 up, 2 out and 1 up. So this is used for embankments, and percent grade is used for roads. So it's asking you what the percent grade is. How do you calculate percent grade?
Vertical over
The vertical over the horizontal
Times 100.
times 100. So what's the vertical here? What's the vertical difference? 5 feet. What's the horizontal distance? 75 feet. How did you get that?
0.75 times 100.
Okay, so you know the scale is for every 1 inch on paper, it's 100 feet in real life. If it's 3/4 of an inch, it's going to be 75 feet times 100. What's this turn out to?
The devil.
Do the calc.
It's devilistic.
6.7%. More than one person, you've got 6.7.
6.6.
6.6. Okay, next question. In order to draw contour lines, a person must linearly interpolate the elevations between points. Do you remember what I called it?
Interpolation.
Triangulation.
What if you like describe what it was?
You can make a map without having any contour lines on it, right?
Contour
But what is map making? What's the technical word for map making?
Cartography.
Cartography.
It would contour interval work.
Okay, so
Triangulation. Indirect method was how we do the surveying. When we go out in the field and we shoot high and low points and other points, and then we come back and draw contour lines, it's called the indirect method because we're not finding the exact points in the field that lie exactly on the contour lines. So let's just mention that. If I wanted to go out in the field, I have my surveying equipment set up, and Porter, you're going to be the person holding the prism. If I wanted to find where I'm going to draw those contour lines out in the field, what would I have to do with Porter? I would have to know what reading I want, and I would have to keep telling her to back up or come in until she gets to the point where we're going to put the contour line. That would take forever. So it's much better just shooting points that are high and low, plotting all those points, and then coming through and drawing contour lines.
I have a question about, so on the homework, we had a couple problems where we had grids, basically, and,
Do you remember why we did grids? What was the purpose of using grids?
because there isn't a whole lot of elevation change, it's,
Or you can't see the
Yeah.
elevation change. Okay.
well, so then we had to draw the contour lines.
Right.
And the whole, I kind of like abandoned triangulation and just started like guessing.
Okay.
Cause I don't know, I was a
And
little
that's-
confused about the grid like method, or like when you do the triangulation, okay,
Okay.
it's
So-
triangle.
The word triangulation is used really for 2 reasons. When we had a point here, right, that had a certain elevation, and then we had a point here, and we had a point here, and we were trying to figure out where the contour lines went in, and I'm looking at it in 3 points. That's one reason that they call it triangulation, but the other reason makes maybe more sense to you. If you're looking at it vertically, and I'm going from point A to point B, and let's say this one is 108.4. Here's point A, right? Point A has an elevation of 102.3, and here's point B that has an elevation of 108.4. If I draw this, and this is the level line, aren't I looking at a triangle? And if this is 102.3 and this is 108, 105 is, let's see, this is 102, this is 108, in between is 106, is that right? 104, no. 105
Yeah.
is in the middle, 106, 107, 103, 104. So this is where 105 is. So we're actually looking at a vertical triangle from one point to another point and looking at the gradual inclination of the slope, and you're finding where that number is. And so it winds up to be midway between here and here. You could do it by eye, you don't have to break things up into vertical triangles, and you don't have to put all the notches on here, and I think as you do it more and more, Porter, you've done a lot more topos than probably most of the class from geology.
Yeah,
I'm
a little
thinking.
bit, yeah.
Even if you've done a little bit, you've probably done more than maybe, how many of you, this is the first time you're drawing topos? So, the little bit counts. So you might be able to see it by eye maybe after this homework assignment, you guys could probably do it by eye, you don't have to like measure it out or anything.
Okay, yeah, I was just wondering, because we didn't talk too much about it last class, I was just like.
About drawing
I was
it?
doing it the wrong method, yeah.
No, you're doing fine. Okay, number 4, hatcher marks are used to represent hills or depressions? Depressions. 5, a size of 1 to 2400 is the same as what scale? 1 inch is equal to 200 feet. 6, in comparison to a map of California, a map of Santa Cruz on the same size paper would be considered a larger scale map. Larger scale map. 7, for a map scale of 1 inch is equal to 100 feet, the appropriate contour interval would be what based on average terrain? How'd you figure that one out?
I wrote down the chart.
You wrote down the chart on the cheat sheet, right. And what was the answer?
I don't remember. Check my cheat sheet.
Okay. 2? Okay.
I thought it was 2.
8,
Get it?
a sectional view is either called a profile or a cross-section, depending on the direction of the section in relationship to the road. Correctly identify them in the following 2 sentences. So one that's parallel to the road is called? Profile. Remember it, PP, parallel profile. Oh, no.
Orthogonal.
Okay, sorry, don't remember it, PP.
I said
A section
plan
drawn
view.
perpendicular